What's up, guys? This is Don't
At
Me. This is the what episode? Fourth? We're going there. So, today's topic, not very important, but people want to talk about it. It's what?
On the contrary, I'd say it's quite important.
Anyway, you're going to tell us is mental health a real crisis? I don't think it is, or it's overrated. So, me personally, I don't think
before we
mental
go
health is a
into that,
crisis.
let's introduce our guests. Manners, bro. You see, this is the
They're
problem.
coming.
Paul.
You haven't just seen them. They're here. This is a guy
Guys,
and a
let's
chick.
introduce our guests today. We have the lovely
Teresa, CEO Tehan Talk.
Tian Talk. She has a YouTube as well. You guys should check it out. And then we have
Samuel Yawekusas, you're a proud born again.
ooh, I like that intro, bro.
No.
Yeah, man. All right,
Basta.
so today's unserious, according to Paul, but rather serious conversation is mental health a serious crisis or it's overrated? So who wants to run us in?
Overrated. People are sad, not depressed. You can be sad for a day, then when you make it a sickness.
So you don't think it is a sickness that should be diagnosed? You don't think there are professionals who should be there
I feel like it's a choice for people.
to be depressed?
Yeah, to be
Okay,
depressed.
this is my question. I feel like to discuss anything, we should know what we're discussing, right?
Yeah.
So, by definition, you know what mental health is.
How is your head?
Yes. Actually, I don't even
The
want
state
a
of your
definition
mind.
word for word. So, yes, I just need a state of understanding
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, so you said the what? How is your head?
How
Yeah.
is your head?
I like that. So, I'm going to work with that. How is your head?
Yeah.
What do you use to function as a human being?
My head.
The brain,
Your head, specifically, right?
not the head.
Okay, no, I was using his words.
Or he's illiterate.
He's trying to be smart. You wait, he's trying to be smart.
I'm not
We
trying
go,
to
we
be
go,
smart.
we
If I was
go,
trying
we
to be
go.
smart, I'll define
We go.
it for
Let's
what
go.
it
Let's
is,
go.
Huh?
Paul,
So let's-
which is
Run
the
with it.
psychological or emotional well-being of someone. I didn't have that off head. I googled that while we were preparing, but that's why I worked with your words, because as long as we understand what we're talking
I
about.
don't Google.
So,
Can you-
psychological and emotional, those are the two things that you are made of as a person, literally, when we put away your physical
Yeah,
appearance. So, literally, it is your brain that you use to do anything, even your being here. It's your brain. So, do you think it'd be important to know that that place is in a good state, or do you think it's a non-issue?
I think it's a choice though. Like,
Whether your most important organ is okay or not is a choice.
auntie, but me have
It's a choice to either
my
put it in a good state or a bad state. Is that what you want to say?
no, but you seem I've not been in a bad state, so I don't know what you're talking
Are
about.
you serious?
Oh, okay. No,
You have
we
been
can
sad.
follow.
I've been sad, but I don't know what
But
depression
do you know what
is.
depression is? Depression is a long...
Have you been depressed?
Yes, I have. I've been depressed.
You've never been depressed, Paul?
Wait, no. You've
Maybe
been depressed.
you were, but
Absolutely,
you didn't know that
bro.
you were depressed.
What are you
Okay,
saying?
now, what do you mean? No, it's like saying I was sick, but I
Facts
didn't know I
now,
was sick.
statistics. 264 million people
I told you not to
suffer
this
from
stuff.
depression.
Let him speak. Let him
Let
speak.
And
you
then-
be-
After the
200 what?
264 million people.
Uh-huh.
So we could at least say chances are you could fall among us, those millions.
But,
But
you
then-
then, in the world?
and then-
2 billion?
6.7 billion?
Oh,
Then
no, more,
4 of
like
those
8
million
billion.
suffer anxiety, yeah?
Yeah.
These are statistical facts. So, chances are, this is not an ongoing, like they have it ongoing. No, like this one dips into it, gets out. Someone dips
And
into
remember,
it,
these are
gets
only
out.
people that at least have been able to front it, because these statistics are blurred, because the
Yeah,
people out there who
exactly.
are suffering.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that. That's only for the ones you can record.
But you
eh?
see, even if first hold on,
No,
let me
you could
first
be
finish.
among
First,
the ones
first
that-
let me-
me?
Paul, let me-
No,
Paul,
I
let me
don't
first
get
finish speaking.
depression.
Let me first finish speaking. Even if okay, let us just assume that these 260 million people are the only ones who are depressed in the world. Do you think 260 million people should be ignored?
Or just
Are negligible
for-
No, but
population?
You think they
What-
get together and be like,
what
guys, let's make
happens?
this
What happens
decision.
when you're
We're gonna be
depressed? What happens when
you're-
depressed.
No, it's
It depends on different
Million
people
people in
cope
different
when you were
different
depressed,
ways.
what happened?
Ah man, man, I was
There are a
down
number of
bad.
causes of depression.
Auntie, what happened? Down buddies.
I
No,
mean,
I've cited Paul. So Paul's issue is, it's you say it's a choice. Why? Because you
Because-
should have a reason.
No, let me tell you.
a
I've been
choice to be
sad.
sad.
That's true. Yeah, I've been sad. But my sadness has not grown into me
Depression.
going
It's
down.
a choice to be sad.
No, it's not a choice.
No, but you
Yeah.
can. It's,
Sometimes
there's
you're
a-
into something that you can't control.
Paul,
like what? Mount examples.
Paul, come on, let me just show you an example. Stretch out your hand to me, just.
Uh-huh.
Why are you?
No, you see, let me
Uh-huh.
tell you, I'm
You
going to
just
cut-
share with the audience.
I'm going to
Share
cut
with the
arrow.
audience.
I'm going to cut the arrow. The guy
Uh-huh.
said that to feel pain is inevitable.
Yeah.
But to suffer from it is what? Is a choice. So
It's a
you've
choice.
pitched me, yes.
But you
it
chose
didn't
not
even
to
hurt,
react, eh?
But by the way, I'm a very
You see, I think you're at a point where you're confused.
No,
Because first of all, let me first interject. Paul's analysis of the situation is just because he thinks that depressed people are not trying to fight it. Because for him, he thinks as long as you can feel, let me
They've
finish.
made a choice
You
to
can
live
feel
in
sad,
it.
but then you don't let the sadness consume your life. But that does not mean you're not depressed.
And I want to, Paul.
So I'm
that's
depressed.
actually we
No,
want
like-
to.
like-
Paul,
Do you have
like people
having
want
a
to get
long
into that
period in which
mindset.
you're
What you're
very
saying
unhappy?
should be the right thing, but just that you're
by the way,
fronting
all
it
of
the
you
wrong
people
way.
are depressed. Eh?
No, you're not depressed,
Man,
but we are saying
Paul
we
is
have
such a-
been in such
We've
a
been,
state
we've ever been in such
before.
a situation. We have encountered such
Yeah.
an unbearable.
No, me I know how
That's
to
why
grind.
we're
Paul,
saying
Paul
it's a
requires
crisis.
grinding.
It's a
Paul
real
requires
crisis.
grinding. So I want us to grind him, all three of us.
But remember,
this
but
is
remember-
why,
but remember-
I'm tired of
that's
this.
what you require.
First of all, the essence of this
you
is
call
to not
for it.
is not to turn Paul's mind. It
Yeah.
is to air our view. So if
You
you
don't want me to be like
Yeah,
that.
but we have to use. It's interesting to use Paul as an example because as
There's
we do
so many
that,
people
But you see,
yeah,
again,
we
really
get to
like-
buy
the thing
more.
is this: I'm also, as much as I acknowledge that mental health is it is a crisis. I
Switching up,
also
you're
think
switching up.
no. I also think it's a bit overrated. I think sometimes in our generation, people are taking it out of control.
That's
I have
true.
gone through depression.
That's true, and that's
have-
what
I
I
have
want to
suffered.
bring to light in
Let me
this
first-
session
let me
right
You
first-
now.
guys were
Let me
sad.
first
You're
say
not
let me first say
depressed.
what I have to say. So, I have been through depression, and I've seen how people go through depression, and some people resort to different mechanisms. You know, there's self-harm, there's self-sabotage, there's isolation,
Yeah.
understandable, all of that. But for me, my problem comes with people who do not seek help. Like you're going through something, you do not want to communicate with the people that genuinely can help you.
Yeah.
You're not actively looking for a method to get out. Do you know what you do? You sit back and you're the people who Google sad TikToks. You know those people? They don't Google, like when they're sad, they Google sad TikToks,
Yeah,
those
and then
sad
you find a sad
sounds,
playlist
and they
'cause
make
you wanna
themselves
get into the
sadder.
sad mood,
And for
yeah.
me, I don't think that's a problem. I think
Listen to
pain
reggae.
pain deserves to be, when you're going through pain, it is good for it to hit you. Yes, but it is not good for you to just let it consume you.
But why do you think
Okay,
most
like
of
to
these
get to
people
that
don't
place,
seek
eh?
help?
Exactly, to get to his place,
Yeah.
you have to answer people like him because it is a real, it is a valid situation. Like the people who are
Yeah.
just not going to find mental health.
So, Teresa, what do you
Yes.
think? Let's hear what you have to say.
I actually think it's a real crisis, and I don't think at any point it's overrated, because even in the generation we are living in right now, it's just getting worse, going into the AI thing, and time to come it's going to be worse than it is right now if we don't try to control it in such.
So let me interject. Most people that I see are depressed. They usually get depressed because
No,
of
I'm
their.
not depressed.
No. I'm just kidding. I'm saying most people that I see that are depressed are usually in the circumstance where they're unhappy with their current predicament. I see
Yeah.
people, but I can give you a
But
simple.
you guys
I can, first of all,
have
let me
really good
first
lives.
finish.
Honestly speaking, everyone here has a really good life. So I don't see a reason why
No,
you should
first,
be sad.
can we
Okay,
finish
like,
speaking?
can you
First,
give me-
let me
What
first
we
finish.
show on the outside may not be what
Let me first finish. What
Exactly, but now you see,
Let-
this one, what Manzi said is that people are in bad situations. That's why they are.
No, first
That's why they
listen.
are sad.
It's not about
But you guys, Manzi,
Paul,
your
let
life
me-
is so good, eh?
Manzi, Paul, let
me
me
first
get
Your
finish.
life
you.
is so
Let me first-
Teresa.
No, like
Some more.
Paul, first
You don't
try to
even
You
know.
listen.
guys have
Just-
no reason to be
Paul,
sad.
what we may put
Okay.
on the
I'm even
outside,
not supposed
Paul,
to
can
be
I,
sad.
can I hear what? Can I say something?
Hmm?
Depression is not
Paul
about.
wants to make it a
Depression is
pity
not
party.
about. That's a problem. Depression is not about being. Paul, let me finish. Don't
I'm not
interject.
even talking.
Depression is not about like being, and it's about like being not being content. At least most of the reasons I see.
Really?
No, some. Let me give. Not everyone. When I
You
see a
see,
lot
you're
of.
not depressed. You're just
First-
unhappy
Okay,
with yourself.
can you guys allow me? Can you guys
Paul
allow me
doesn't
first
allow me to finish
establish
to
the
speak,
need?
bro.
Eh? Because I noticed that we skipped that, and like I said, me, I'm being objective, so I'm trying to air this out. We've missed it. We need to know the need, why we need to take mental health seriously. This is why, Paul. The jokes aside, your brain is what you use to function, to execute anything you're gonna wanna execute in life.
Yeah.
And mental health then being defined as the psychological and emotional well-being of that brain, you then realize how important it is. the reason it receives that kind of energy is because of the scams that are built by society, where you have to fit into a manly construct, and then also our culture that does not acknowledge mental health. Now those are roots that are very, 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 very far. But it's not something to take pride in. Do you know why? Information has come, so we don't have to stick to
No,
dogmas.
but
Like, let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Not all dogmas are bad, though.
Paul,
but
let me show you
people-
something. Let me show
I
you
think-
something, and then
do
we
you
see.
know cases of like
Let me show you a dogma.
okay.
They used to run around in the neighborhood, Got their drums, they embalu word for circumcision. Just all that used to happen, but the actual point was just to get the child circumcised.
Are you
That's something
sure?
that can be
I
done.
disagree on that part. but
No,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
like the culture, but that was the point, though, right?
The cultural part is to show that a man, let it's for
Strong enough.
society. No, first is to test his strength. It's also for society to see that this man has willingly accepted to transition from youthhood to manhood.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't deny its
No, no, no.
values.
My interjection is this: him doing it in a
Either you
hospital.
prevent him from
No, exactly,
finishing.
no. Him going into a
No, it's okay,
hospital.
once
Hello.
communication.
Him going into a hospital where no one is there
Yeah.
to get it. It destroys the purpose of that because
So
first
you want
his
to
ma-
have yours done in public?
So you
I
want
am
the
not a
whole
Mugisu.
drums?
I'm
and
asking
all-
but
you.
I respect and acknowledge that
Auntie,
culture.
this is what I'm showing you. I'm not demeaning it. I'm just saying with time things are done differently because some dogmas are dropped depending. Like for example,
Guys become shy.
you get people choose. Whatever reasons, we cannot get into that. That will become another debate. My point simply was that we don't hold on to dogmas simply because they existed. Get it? So simply because our culture was not acknowledging mental health doesn't mean we are also going to adamantly refuse to acknowledge it after realizing that it is the mental well-being. Listen to that word literally. The mental well-being, like your
I
mental
feel like
well-being.
people
Can
those
you
days were
ignore your
happier
mental
than
well-being?
people who are.
No,
I want
they
you to
were
first get
actually
me.
going through
But
these
have you got the
things,
definition,
but they
though?
did not notice that it's actually called depression.
Exactly,
or
or
it's called
it's-
anxiety.
and I don't want us to
and
stick-
they would deal with it.
Don't
because
stick to that. Don't stick to the
relationships
two
were
words of
more-
anxiety and depression, because then we are going to try to find out why is someone depression and then all that. So we can keep the debate as wide. The
Yeah.
mental well-being, someone's mental, psychological, and emotional well-being. So, do you see that that's a serious thing? I mean, literally, that's how you.
No, but you
function.
see the way you say it, the way you say it makes it seem like because of like the new era, new time and age, we should notice things that people are not noticing those days. You feel it?
Literally, that's true, because, like, if people didn't know that there was-
But you can't tell me people those days. These are what people used to cope up with their things. I feel
Yeah.
personally, if you're feeling
So
sad,
should we
But
keep
that-
to those
that
times?
dynamic
I'm
Auntie,
asking.
wasn't there.
We are not in those times
people,
anymore.
my problem is
Let
people
him
are
first finish.
people
Let's listen
are
to Paul
people
and
are
hear what he
now
has to say.
taking like a lot of interest in mental health, and mental health is becoming worse now.
All I
You
wanted.
feel it? So
we are going
may
to
I feel
get
like
there.
part of the problem.
We wanted first.
part
No,
of
are
the
you, do you
problem
agree
is
with that
acknowledging
now?
the
Part of the problem is acknowledging the mental health, and people are finding a
Yes,
reason
that's what
to
we
be
wanted.
to be sick. They're like, man, it's a real
No.
issue.
No,
So even
Paul,
me-
we are going to get
even
there,
me, I'm
Paul.
what?
Paul, we're going to
Even
get
me,
there.
I'm
We
not
wanted
talking-
to first know. Do you
know-
acknowledge mental health right now in
No,
this
no,
moment?
no. But he said it exists. But that okay?
Yeah.
He didn't say it.
The
But it's
seriousness of
overrated.
it. Okay.
He says it's overrated. He's saying it's
Okay.
severity is just okay.
Yeah.
But you know,
So let him begin
when
with
you,
his
when you
share
get
on
to
that.
here to Paul, when you get
Oh,
here,
okay.
what Paul
Yeah,
is saying,
man.
Paul says that. To be honest, ever since there are more mental health clinics, there are more mental health, and the crisis keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Now, for me, what I was saying before this, I was saying like I look at most of the people that are saying they're depressed, they're feeling unsatisfied with the way their lives are. I mean, let me be realistic with you. Every single social media person you follow is a model who's 21 years old like you but has a Bugatti. These are the people that you're watching 24/7 on social media. You scroll through your TikTok feed and you're watching celebrities, you're watching people living a lifestyle that you wish you had. You in yourself are causing this mental health to yourself because inherently your subconscious mind is literally creating this unnecessary pressure upon you that, bro, you're 21.
Who are you?
A 21-year-old is a
So that's
17-year-old
talking
kid
about
is.
the
And I'm
causes
just giving.
of mental
it's
health,
not really. I'm just giving examples.
The mental
I'm
health
saying
crisis.
like
I think
the
it was
severity.
smart if you should have some questions
severity-
we know we want to answer.
The severity of this crisis is it really as hyped as it should be? Because I feel like the more we have acknowledged the mental health crisis, the
worse
more we
it
have talked
gets.
about it, the more it is worse. I know we're in the trend
No, Manzi,
era.
I'm trying to
What's your
understand
Someone's
opinion
your
on
side.
depressed. Everyone's
Is
depressed.
it overrated? Is it a crisis?
No,
I'm
he's-
in the middle.
He's for the
can't
band.
do that, no, this is the same.
Man's
I
is
can't
for
choose
the
a side
band.
because I don't know.
It's not
I have
for
no
the
idea.
sides. Yeah, it's
I have
Us
no
okay.
idea.
fueling it and putting up all the clinics, talking about it. It's because we have now realized that we need to have a mental health in a good
Let her
state.
share her opinion on that.
Okay.
First,
Yeah.
share.
So
your
we
opinion
need to
also.
have because we are fueling it, we need it right. And like you've said, because we are always on social media, you need someone to tell you, like, man, it's not because they are driving and they're in good state that you should be like that. Get up and also live your life.
Are we not a
Okay,
soft
so
generation
can-
for needing people's?
Can I have a-
words of
Exactly.
approval?
Like,
Can I have a-
why do I need you to tell me I'm okay
Exactly.
to be okay?
Seriously, I feel
I
like
need to
low
remind
key,
you that you're okay.
Can I have a
No,
shot at that question
you do
too?
not see yourself okay.
Personally,
Can
let
I
me
have,
tell you.
Paul, can I have a
have-
shot at that question too?
Okay.
So this is what I believe. You guys are right. Yes, mental health is becoming more apparent with time. By the way, and listen to the words I use, is becoming more apparent with time, like more
Yeah.
obvious and whatnot. But why? That makes sense and is very genuine. Why? And which actually is coupled with the need to acknowledge and not dodge mental health. Why? Back then, strength and life was more accounted to physical capabilities. So you'd find your life being distracted by what you had to do and physical, and a lot of physical was happening and less of, But now with time and integration and machine, you're going to find that sometimes someone had to walk a journey and before they could even get to think about their emotions, or something, they're going to step on a thorn or they have to fetch water. There's always something, at least. But now you find that the water is at the top, you're in the ride, so there's less to do with your body. So your mind, our minds have become. That's why I believe, this is my personal saying, that a brave man in this era is one who is willing to acknowledge and face his emotions, his mental state head on. Why? Because a brave man back then it came down to physical, but now it's no longer physical.
Can I interject?
There's guns and what, so you can't. Let me just complete the point. So there's guns and what, so you're not going to flex your muscles in someone's face. They can simply shoot you down. You get, let's say it came down to that. So right now, a brave man, it is up here, and you'll see that all the men that win in this life, it is because they're able to use their brains, right, to say the things that men chase don't go over. For example, money.
But
or,
that
you get
doesn't,
it?
that doesn't put like in account like what, like depression and what you get.
Pardon?
Mental
Let
health.
him put in account.
No,
what?
but
How?
you.
I want to interject
sometimes
as
you
well.
don't.
Yes.
It's,
I think
it's
I
weird.
first, let me first.
But
You're saying, okay, I understand what you're saying. You're like, a brave man in this generation is a man who's willing to acknowledge that the mental well-being of his mind is
That you've got feelings though. Like,
but that is not the essence of this specific argument.
however,
But obviously,
mental
I
health
agree
is
with
part
on that
of the
on that
emotion.
specific
Like, you
aspect.
can't talk about
On that specific
mental
aspect,
health
I
and-
absolutely agree
Yeah.
with you. But let me give you an example. Today, a guy dates a girl. She cheats on him and he gets deported for 2 years. Those days, when we go to war, and I'm not, for you went back too far, you went 8 years. When we go to war, come back with one limb, still get through it. I'm not saying that mental health is not vital. I'm saying we as a generation maybe have strayed away because we're a bit too soft. Like, I understand. We are
Let's
going
discuss
through
this.
shit.
I don't think that's
No,
true.
let me
like-
give an
but I
example.
don't think
Let me
physical,
first
Let's look through
physical,
Uganda.
physical destruction is enough.
Let's look
for
how
someone.
many mental health clinic centers do you know here in Uganda?
I am not a mental
There's a toll-free
person.
mental health line. A toll-free.
Exactly.
What's your one
There is a toll free. Like, you can say there is, which is
They have like
singular.
5 different numbers.
But it's the same thing.
Oh, if it's the same thing, like,
Okay,
you're just
that's
making
the
my
one I
point
know.
for me
That's the one I
that
know.
there's not much. Okay, fine. How many hospitals do you know in the country?
That tackle mental health.
No, just hospitals treating
Hospitals?
other shit.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
There's the
Tons, exactly. But how many do you know for mental health issues?
Most, at least the ones that I've seen, most
Very
especially the ones that
But
are,
I've not
the ones that are in
understood
those
you,
big
like-
hospitals, the ones that have insurance, whatever. They always have.
I also want to first bring forth this fallacy in this session because I feel like we are misinterpreting what we see on TV with what's going on in our country. The people that we are watching in the Western have taken mental health seriously, not Uganda. Let's first make that clear. So I don't know.
But
We
there
are
was
probably-
not so.
No, but let's
But
not
we are
allow the
moving,
language of the
moving.
TV get to what is on ground. What is on ground here in Uganda is, in Africa, in our country, is mental health has not been taken as serious. That's a fact.
And we have one of the lowest depression among the continents in the
We are the
planet.
happiest
one of,
people.
We have one of the lowest.
Very happy people.
First of all,
Yeah.
among the entire continents in the world, we have one of the lowest suicide rates in the world. Among
Nah.
all, let me first interject.
Okay.
You look at countries that are more open about mental health, the likes of the United States. Actually, one of the countries that is very pro talking about mental health is South Korea, and yet they still have one of the highest suicide rates in the whole world.
So let's get to that. Let's get to that, yeah? Now, there are going to be other factors that are irrelevant. There is something that is called no cause. There's no cause effect between whether acknowledging mental health and the suicide rates, no. Mental health is being taken care about, that people know. Like, the human beings...
Are you saying these are isolated incidents?
Let me
though?
get to it. Human beings have stages of comfort. You begin from basic needs. Now, someone who has basic needs will not be able to get into the space to get to some places. You begin with basic needs, then you get to security, then you get to luxury. Now, people
If that was the
whose
case, then
social
Africa would
economic...
have
No,
the highest suicide
okay, but
rates in
like
the world.
these are facts though. So unless we're going to argue with
No,
facts,
no. Okay, do you know why?
Can I make the point? Then you give me that response.
Okay, like
Manzi, you
I'm
wait.
going to
You
miss
wait.
this
Let me make the point.
No, no, no,
Wait,
you know what? I'm going to miss this point. First, hold on.
Wait,
You know,
you see, that's how I feel.
No, let him give him-
That's how I feel.
Paul, it's okay. Let him
Wait.
give me that. No, let him give me that.
no,
so
no,
that I can
like
respond to it
like
too.
you're saying,
Yeah?
like the more need for whatever is literally probably okay. It's like he's saying it's corresponding, but if that was the case, like countries
You
like
see why
First,
it
hold
would
on.
be difficult
First
to know
hold
is
on.
because I did
countries,
get to the point.
countries like Vietnam or areas like Karamoja or places that have the lowest GDPs and the lowest should be having the highest suicide
Standards
rates.
of life.
But then you
would
but then
have
you see
got
the
that-
countries that have the highest standards of life. Okay, not the highest, not like Brunei or what. But those ones you should really like. You see the countries that let's say the highest
well
GDPs.
off.
I get that. I get that. It
let's
makes
say,
sense.
First of all, you see like Dubai and those countries. I think the reason they don't have the mental health crisis is because of like the religious like bro. This is this. But you see those
Haram.
countries that those countries that are liberal, those liberal countries, United States, South Korea, what that are too.
I like that. Can I respond to that now? Now you notice you
Absolutely.
made my point while in your very explanation. Those liberal
Yeah.
states, you get like people have started getting into that liberal energy. Why? Because so many of other things have been sorted. Now Africans and the
But
people you're talking
liberalism
about
is
in South
bad.
Sudan,
That's what I was
with what's going on in South Sudan, you would realistically understand them if they have less time to say we're going to think about mental health. Why? Because there's on ground problems. Like, you get what I'm saying? That our society has come to that point that we need to first do some things before we can get to some things. Now, mental health has become something that is considered for the its last resort when we've sorted people dying, we've sorted security in a country.
you know what it
then we
sounds-
get to
So
mental
what
health.
you're saying
sounds-
is that we should put it as first priority, or
Let me get
You know,
to
it
that.
sounds
I was
like, it
getting
sounds
to
like
make
he's
the
saying
point.
the more bored you get, the
Yeah,
more
boredom
time
brings boredom.
That's
the more
true.
time you have
Don't
on you,
be bored.
the more you're
That's
going to
true,
think
though.
about
but
depression.
that's true. By
That's
the
true
way.
though, so
Some
let's get to it.
extent.
That's true though, that's facts. That's
Kinda
what I'm saying.
makes it-
Like, if
kinda
you are
makes me
busy,
lean towards being
if you are
overrated now,
busy, you
if
might
that's
think
the
less
case.
about your emotions. But if you're there and you just have to think about them, then you're gonna think about them.
So we
Your
should
point
just
is
get the
actually
youth more busy.
physical distraction.
Let me get to the point though.
But man,
I-
I'm
you
bored,
guys
I
haven't
think
made the
about
point
football.
yet.
I knew it. Get to the point.
Okay,
But I want
then
to hear
this
what
is the
Teresa has to
point.
say after you, because
So this
she's
is the
been too
point.
quiet.
Yeah, so
This is
you'll
an
find
area
that
of expertise.
those people who are acknowledging mental health, one of the facts you're going to find is the countries are more developed than ours. Yes or no?
Huh?
Yeah.
The countries that are acknowledging mental health, they are more developed than ours. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Commercial break, whatever
Yeah.
you call it. Anyway, so we stopped at a point where he was trying to bring forth a point that we coherently have to learn some good things from
Some
these
good things.
countries, despite their
Immorality.
demorality and their.
yeah.
So I want to hear what Teresa has to say on this.
And then Paul is gonna share.
Yeah, then Paul is.
Yes, I've told you that I'm interrupting, so I'm not going to be putting
No,
up my
let's
hand.
just wait
So
for
picking up from your point before we move to that one about physical distraction,
physical
Aren't you-
destruction. What? Pardon?
I want to take it back to the 8 years where you're relating it to the 8 years.
No, I didn't necessarily
Let-
say
let
physical
us
destruction.
speak.
Auntie, I don't want her to respond to what I didn't say. It would be off.
No, it was something related to that.
Yeah, but not
Teresa,
physical
run with this.
destruction.
So-
Let's hear what you have to
Okay, yeah, something like
so
that.
it doesn't mean that if I have things to do all the time, I'm not going to get time to be depressed. Okay, you don't need time to be depressed. It just happens. So and you're saying that because you're living the soft life right now, we just get anything and when we
No,
want
just
it.
giving a comparison of why it might not have been as vibrant before as it is now. That's
Yeah.
all.
So, but looking at what we have today, like you said, the biggest problem we are facing as people is we do not seek for help at all. And I want to say that we really don't seek for help. You find that someone is going down the deep and they never want to come up and they just want to stay there. And they keep
Most of the
dying.
times
That's why
because they're
you-
even denying the
Yeah,
problem.
you wake up some morning and someone is dead. And what do? They kill themselves. So it's really a crisis.
Like, Paul, do you know you have mental health?
I
But
don't have
taking it back
issues.
to the
Yeah, but do you
80s,
acknowledge you have a mental health situation?
No,
Not,
but you
not a
just
bad
calling it-
one, a
calling it-
situation.
No.
I just want to know that
No,
you
no,
No,
acknowledge
Paul
mental
has
health.
no mental health situation. We have understood.
It can
that.
be good too.
Paul is a terminator.
It's a terminator without mental health.
Who has no emotions,
No emotions.
No
nothing.
psychological.
No psychological.
No, I have emotions, but I don't have psychological problems.
No, but do you have psychological well-being?
No, when you say it like that, it makes it like this.
Do you
This is
believe?
a
Do you
right
believe
point.
that? Do you believe that your brain is a machine which sometimes needs service?
Yeah.
That the
I
information.
like your approach.
That the information that you put in your brain can either damage or build your brain. Do you acknowledge that part? Do you acknowledge that your brain is fundamentally, actually scientifically, it is a machine. The core machine is like the engine of
There
your
needs to be
body.
sometimes
that
greased,
sometimes needs to be
polished.
greased, polished,
Yeah,
in order to
No.
improve its efficiency. Do you acknowledge that part?
Mom always efficient.
I can't have this
See,
argument.
guys, my point.
Even you know in
I
your
can't
heart.
have this
Okay,
Even
conversation.
he knows in his heart. That's the
let me
beauty.
tell you, all jokes aside, I'm happy he's annoyed. So, what I'm trying to say is me,
My guy, side note, you note that. Those are his goals. Okay, proceed.
ignore, like, I feel like it's not that I ignore some things, but I don't want to give things time. You feel, like, if I want to dwell on my mental health issues or what, I feel like that will take me into a what? Into
Nice.
a
So you ignore
okay,
it.
it's okay.
I
No,
like,
not-
I like
let's-
this. No,
let's-
no, on
no.
that exact point,
Push up your hands
on that,
when you want
on that
to
exact
take-
point,
Yeah.
on that exact point, it's beautiful. Are you still running with something? Should we let you finish?
Yeah.
Let him finish.
Let him finish.
okay, now I'm done.
Okay, now this is what I want to say.
I wish I
I
had
like,
a
I like, I
talking
like
stick
Paul's,
and
I like Paul's
help Paul.
approach on this. Paul says that he should not let these problems consume him. Let me give an example to what he's basically saying. Don't interject until I'm done, Paul. So this is it.
Yeah, but
You
that's
have
the
a
good
wife.
listening
Hmm?
skill.
You have a wife. You have hints that she's cheating on you. You have
Yeah,
hints that she's
hints,
cheating
my
on you.
guy.
You have a
You've
wife.
smelt a few.
You have a wife. You have children, but they're more important things. It's just that you know this is marriage. Your wife, you think that next door neighbor, every time you leave, she comes and whatever. So you
Yes,
don't
at least
dwell on the
Adam that she
problem.
comes on.
So you don't dwell on the problem. You come back, you provide for your family, you continue to be a good husband, you live your life. Does the fact that your wife was probably cheating cease
Paul
to
should
exist?
answer that.
Does it cease to exist? I don't want you to. I just want you to answer it plainly.
Yes or
don't
no?
relate it to your mental health. Just
Without an explanation, yes or no.
does
But
the
that's so
problem?
unfair, eh?
Does
That's so
the,
unfair. Just
does
tell
the
me-
problem cease
Unfair
to
to
exist?
who?
Just
To
To me,
or
to my
to us?
answer.
I'm running a point.
Okay, huh?
Does the problem cease to exist?
No, it doesn't cease to
So it is fundamentally there. So let me give an example as well. Across a period of time, you realize that you have these moments where you're unhappy. They're inexplainable. But you know what? You're a man. You deal with it. When you're feeling this sad project, like fuck it. Let me go play FIFA. Let me go work. Let me go do something. Let me go do some. You understand?
I've seen the time running
Does
out,
the
so I want to
problem
respond
cease to exist in a
Paul's issue. Paul, you see, I like that you've got into that mindset, and it is the best place where you can be helped. Number one is acknowledging
No,
it.
but-
And yes, let me respond. You know I listened, right? So you've got to listen. You dealing with a problem is not going to make you a soft man. It's not going to make you a wimp.
But that's the way of
It's
dealing
not going
with
to
the
make you a
problem.
pussy. And I'm getting to that. It's not going to make you a wimp. First, you have to fix the mindset, because the mindset, the scam has deceived you that you have to ignore these emotions. However, if we were to be realistic, let's like you used simple examples. Here is a man first with feces next to where he's going to eat his food from. Two men, both of them has feces right next to where they're going to eat their food from. Now this is how you know that there is a man, between a man and I don't know what else to call the other person. Now the other person is person A and person B. Person B will say, I'm going to eat my food, the feces are here, and pretend that the feces are not there. But then there is this one who's going to say, okay, yes, there are feces. Feces are not supposed to be part of what? On my
There's
meal
something
table.
called listening
First
to
listen.
your thoughts.
So what am I going to do? I'm going to remove these feces so that I can eat my food what? Properly. Now mental health is supposed to be okay. It is the clean table. But it's going to have things on it, which is bad mental health. And the feces sometimes might be depression, anxiety. I'm not going to use the word feces again. But the bad things could be anything on that table. So as a man, your decision is to say, I'm going to remove this, that, so that I can be well. Rather than say, I'm going to ignore it. That doesn't, if you're trying to appear as a man, you become less of a man by not acknowledging your problems rather than acknowledging them. Now let me respond to the method. He's saying the methodology makes it seem weak. No. Dealing with mental health is not supposed to be the way you see it or the way it appears. I can give you the simplest formula for anyone. I believe you call me because I have a personal relationship with mental health. Isn't that it? Quite frankly. And I know dodging that would be, doing you a disservice. Yes, I have tried to take my own life, as you can see. So I've had an encounter with clinical depression, actually, because I had to go to Tavika to confirm whether, and stuff like that. But the simplest one, I'm not discrediting medicine, I'm not discrediting anything, is your faith. And I'm not going to obscure it. The faith in Jesus Christ, the Savior, which sounds, simple. And I'll get into it later on. I'll get into it if I had time, but there's no time. So I'm going to just sum it down, right? Why is this important? It is because most of the times that you find the things that will cause you depression it is because you don't understand. People say there's no life manual, right? People say life doesn't. Actually, both of you guys did not know, I'm going to share with you a secret today. There's a life manual, well written from cover to cover with instructions, very
Bible,
clear.
like someone.
Yes, the Bible.
Yeah.
Yes, facts. I know.
You see, I have
That
a problem
I get.
with this. So you see,
That you get,
Now I have to interject.
Uh-huh,
something.
yes,
I have
yes.
a problem with this because the moment you say that the Bible is the manual to life, what of other people who don't believe in your God?
Yeah.
People believe in
let me
Muslims.
respond to
First,
that.
hold on. For a viewer who is Hindu,
I
for
get
a
that.
viewer who is Muslim, are you trying to tell them that they have no life manual?
Can I
their
respond
manual
to
is
that?
irrelevant?
Can I respond to that? In this world,
No, seriously.
in this world, let me
You cannot
respond
say
to that.
Bible is
Yeah,
the
I like
only
that.
life
I
manual
like
because we
that.
cannot ignore other people's faiths.
Yes, can I respond to that?
That would be unfair.
Can I respond to that? In this world, there are truths, and then there are things that are not truths. Now, you decide which person you want to be. The society right now raises people who are tolerant. We have a tolerant mindset. No, very few of us will be decisive about our character, about who we are, about what we choose to believe in, and what the truth is. Now, you see, I can tell you, if you want to get from place A to B, this society right now is the kind of society that will tell you, you can pass, let's use practical places. If you want to get to town, someone could tell you, you can pass through Rwanda and pass through Boyegerere, and then take a plane to the US, and then you'll be in town. Crazy. But still, yes, you get to, but that's the kind of society we have. Yet, the truth is, there's always one route from point A to B.
So what
you
is
get
the
what
one
I'm
route?
saying? So,
An easier route.
not an easy, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But going
That's
straight to town is easier than first going to the US.
okay,
and
no.
coming to town.
Maybe that was a bad.
So what? You're not answering my question though. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for you to get to the point.
I was trying to build it up, but let me get to it straighter. You have to learn to not be tolerant of other things, but to conform and respect the truth. Now, the
What
Bible,
is the truth?
What is the truth?
the truth is Jesus Christ,
The
who is the
Bible
life.
is-
Listen, I am the way, the truth. Do you hear that? Do you know why it says,
So-
I am the
no.
way, the truth?
So I want
Wait,
you to
wait,
I want you to sit here.
Yes,
I want you to
But
sit
there are
here.
people who believe
I want you
in
to
the
sit
Quran.
here.
So
and,
unfair.
and it's so helpful that they too today get to watch and be reminded in
That
case
But
society
what
is
they
trying
are,
to
that
deceive
what
them.
theirs is not true. That yours is true and
Yes,
theirs isn't.
yes.
Not mine.
Okay, that
the truth is the truth.
That the holy book of the Bible, of that specific day.
No,
Any
this is
holy
what I'm
book,
saying.
right?
No,
The truth.
He's not saying any holy
is
book. That's
the
my
truth.
problem with this, because basically that is saying that he described it as a one straight path.
Yeah,
The
because
Holy
it is
Bible.
one
And
straight
I have
path.
no
But
problem
Manzi,
with that. No. I cannot.
you've been
just
interjecting.
first hold
Yeah,
on.
we are
Just
all
because I am a
Christians, yeah.
Christian does not mean that I have to nullify other people's.
Then maybe you get
And that's a
ministered to.
problem.
Do you know that your God
So
is
you
a
have
jealous
two,
God?
two truths.
Do you know that your God? No, let me show you. I like that.
Sure.
Hold on. Do you know that your God is a jealous
Let
God?
me come in. I want to
can't believe
accept
this.
what you
Okay, let me
say.
ask it in this way. If you know the truth and I am running on lies, what do you choose to do for
I'm
me?
not-
That's a beautiful example.
So the belief.
So let everyone
Question.
believe in what they want.
No, there are different religions. All these religions.
but
are
And
are
I am
they
valid.
asking you a
truth?
question, and I'm asking you a question. If you know the truth and I am running on lies, what do you choose to do for
I
me?
can't believe we transitioned from mental health to religion. And
Okay,
these people are
because you
clearly
asked
trying-
the question.
You're
No,
trying
you
to
asked
say
the question.
Faith as a
Yeah,
way
no.
to handle
that
your
is
mental
absurd.
health.
Yeah, me, I was
And I want
bringing.
to accept
Yeah,
that
okay.
that if we decide to, follow a certain God, because different religions have different ways on how
Yeah.
we go about it. Because so in his perspective, it is faith in Jesus Christ. You can have faith in your Allah.
Yeah.
But that will also help you as a person.
You see, if he had said it like this, I would have
But I won't
complained.
lie to
But
you
this is
that
what
that
he's saying.
will be
He's
the
saying
truth.
their
You get,
method
like me, I have
is
to
No,
tell
not
you
in
the
this
truth.
case, it has to be the truth.
Yeah.
It has to be the truth.
You get. Okay, this
Guys,
was my question.
Me,
This was my question,
opinion.
Manzi.
Your God is valid. If you want to believe in your God, He is your path to your salvation.
Yeah, but this is my question.
But
no.
that's
my question.
true.
Okay, we go
Faith
back,
is
we go back,
individual.
we go back.
Faith is individual.
But there's
Each
to be
person-
something that's correct.
But you-
we can't
Yeah, that's
all
what
be
I'm-
You
Like,
correct.
can't
that's what I'm
claim
asking
to.
you.
You can't
Manzi.
claim to know that. The only thing you
No,
can do
but
is
all
you
believe
get to
in
know
your
is correct
God.
on Judgment
You
Day.
don't get to sit here and tell all those viewers that their God is wrong, and you get to
No.
judge them.
I'm not judging
Then
them.
you literally just say what
Manzi,
they're
I'm
doing is
asking you a
not
question.
true.
Can I ask a question?
Let's go back.
And you respond my
Let's
question.
go back.
If you know the truth and I don't know the
You're
truth, what
getting
would you do for
emotional
me?
in this.
Let me tell you one thing. Truth is subjugative.
The truth is
Yes, it
You see,
varies.
that's exactly
It
what I
absolutely
tried to
varies.
explain. That in this era, the truth has become dependable. That's why someone's gonna come and tell you that you can have sex with a fellow man because now, like, as long as they've made it the truth,
No,
you get.
you're going it in a moral aspect so that you can win this argument.
Not
That's
really.
my problem. No, because the moment you
Okay,
bring
this
the
is my
LGBTQ,
this is
you've
my
won the
question.
argument.
Is the truth a truth or is the truth? Does the truth depend? That's my question.
No, some truth should
The
not
truth
bend.
is the
No,
truth.
no,
Thank
of course.
you. The
But
truth
what
is
is
the
the
truth.
But the
you
truth
cannot
I am-
tell me.
I am done
You
there.
cannot tell
Can
me
be
when it
there.
comes
Allah
to
can be in
faith.
you. Jesus
Yes, the truth is though.
The truth
listen,
to a
listen.
person can be
truth.
No,
variable,
the truth
but I'm
is
saying
this.
that
This
can
is-
the ultimate truth
The ultimate
depend?
truth is this:
No, it
each
can't.
individual has
Can't
an
change.
individual
If
spiritual
a book
journey.
is a book, it's a book.
If you jump into the road right now and a car hits you, is that dependable? It's a fact.
You have to die.
No, you
Exactly.
don't have to die. You may die. You
No,
may break
you
a
get
leg. You
injured.
may.
Okay, but you get.
Or you may get nothing
the-
at all. You may stand up
Really?
unscraped. It is possible. It is absolutely. No, this is my problem with this.
Okay, if you pick that glass, will it
first
go
hold
up?
on,
Will it
first
go
hold on.
up? If
My
you pick
problem
it up,
is
will
this.
it go
This
up?
is my problem.
Some things are
I
definitive.
understand that mental health is a crisis, and some people find their path out of mental health through what? Through
faith.
religion and their faith. But we're not going to sit here and tell me that just because your faith worked for you, another person's faith can't work for them. I refuse
It
to
is
believe
going to
that.
work.
I
No,
absolutely
like,
refuse to believe
That's not
that.
what I said, though. Did you guys realize that's not what I said?
That's not what he
my
said.
only,
That's not what I
this is
said.
what he said.
Your
He said
faith
that
can
it-
help you get through.
Yes, no.
That was his point.
No, he said.
Until he
this is
brought
not
in
what
his
he
faith
said.
and
He said
explaining it.
that Jesus Christ can help you through it. That means Muhammad and Allah can't.
Guys, we are getting off
Sorry,
track.
I cannot.
How did we become emotional?
This specific topic, I cannot. I'm not saying that Allah is not. My major concern is.
Be you.
I understand we as people, especially people of faith, this topic is very controversial. That people of faith most times are taught that their God is the one true God. And I have no problem with you believing that. My only problem comes with when we try to demean or diminish other people's religions. You understand? My problem is this. If my personal spiritual journey is alone, and if I believe that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior, I probably will, when I see people worshipping Allah, I don't believe that what they're doing is the truth. Or if I see someone...
Oh, I like that.
First of all, let me finish.
On camera.
No, of course.
On camera.
No, this is
the
the
Holy Spirit
But can I
will
finish?
convict you to
This
speak
guy
the
is not
truth.
serious.
whether
Can I
you
finish
want to or
speaking?
not.
Can I finish speaking?
Proceed.
If I see someone in Hindu, I'm giving this as an isolated
On camera.
example. If I see someone in Hindu, I look at him, I'm like, I don't believe that Hindu is the God. You
On
understand?
camera.
But that does not mean that I am correct. My views are outweigh theirs. Because also them, when they see us worshipping our God, they don't think ours is the true God.
So it's not the matter in this.
No, the matter in this case is,
Yeah. So
if I have
at the
found my
moment,
salvation in Jesus
It's
Christ, does not mean that the Muslim person's salvation in Muhammad, that Hindu salvation in their God is unjustified. We can all live in a commune and believe in what we believe in collectively.
Yeah.
You believe in what you believe in. I don't judge you for that. That is your way to salvation. I believe in what I believe in. That is my way to salvation. We will all find out at the end, right? That's why they say spiritual journeys are individual. Everyone finds their path alone. So let's not stand here and say that. My only problem said that. Let's not come here and say that the only path to this is this. We don't know. We know that my path is this. I don't know what your path is. I don't know what his path is. Let's just leave it at that. It's that simple. Anyway, so let's go back to the mental health topic. Is it overrated or not? Consensus,
Everyone has 4
conclusion.
minutes.
Everyone should say something.
No, ma'am, we're going to be the finale. You speak.
No, I want you to respond after you guys are done because like I don't want to provoke any.
No, just speak.
Let's
My
hear-
own.
let's hear Teresa.
Looking at this, like we have all discussed and seen, he has given us a number of ways on how we can actually help ourselves out of this mental health crisis. I believe it's a crisis because I have personally gone through it and it has been a crisis in my life. I can't come here and say it's a crisis and yet haven't personally experienced it. But it being overrated, I don't think it's overrated. We are actually now realizing that it is a real thing we need to deal with. It's the elephant in the room that we need to get out. So, us having different ways we can help each other does not mean it's overrated. Yeah. So, if one thing I should actually like build on what you said, acknowledge it. Let us not learn to live in denial that no, I can't be depressed, man. I can't. Like, how do I say? No, it's not the case. We're not supposed to live in denial. We're supposed to accept it. No,
That's not
No,
as
no,
we
no,
are
no. These are
supposed
concluding
No,
statements.
but this is a question.
No,
like,
let us finish.
everyone
you
has to
a
get
chance
depressed
to
in
speak.
like their lifetime. It's
You
We're
get
gonna
a
talk
chance
about
to
that.
say
We're
you're not
gonna talk about
supposed
that.
to.
Finish.
So, so we are supposed to learn to deal with it. Yeah, because that's the thing I brought in. Listening to our thoughts, listening to yourself as a person, sitting down and analyzing yourself, analyzing your character and where you're going wrong, what you think you should build on. What are some of the things I have been thinking about that are not good? Yeah. So you can start from there and build now who you are. It's not you're not supposed to be depressed. Oh no, you're not supposed to, because maybe that's why you think it's overrated, because you think that in your lifetime you should be depressed, and that's how people make it look like. That's
Well,
what I get from you.
Okay.
So that's what I'm. Learn to listen to yourself, acknowledge it. If you're going through it, seek for help, and yeah, we'll move.
make that
So,
burning
so,
response.
so for me, no. First of all, this is my
Yeah,
my
do time.
concluding
Yeah,
speech.
your
on this.
time, though.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, the opening time was me talking about the other
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
So this is what I think. Is mental health real? Absolutely. Is it overrated? Kinda. That's the truth. Sometimes I feel like we as a generation have strayed off our path. We have allowed things to consume us. We compare ourselves to so many different unrealistic expectations, and these things consume us. I'm not saying that mental health is not real. I'm not saying that it is not a real crisis. I'm just saying that it's a bit overrated. We sometimes have fallen off the hill where we should be able to deal with problems, where we should be able to analyze ourselves as individuals. But again, I also think that if you are going through something, because I have personally been through depression, I've been down as in my life, and I sought help that I needed. So if you do need help, look for it. Do not isolate. Seek for help. There are toll-free lines that you can contact. There are people that you can talk to. There are loved ones that care about you. Seek for help, but do not let it become
Take
a
over.
character trait. Do not let it consume you. Do not let it become a style, a trend in which it is okay to be depressed, because it isn't. Look for help and try to get back on your path. That is what I think.
I don't even know what to tell you. Honestly. Like, guys, the topic
Try.
is mental health or what? A crisis or not? Me personally, I've personally not gone through what? Okay, I've
Maybe
not
you
gone through
could have gone
depression.
through that.
But what is depression? That's like, how do you feel when
A
you're
long
depressed?
state of sadness.
Auntie, but you see now from me,
There's so many questions.
For me-
you see, that's why we need to have
for
five
me-
because
Depression
all
is-
has remained with some
Depression
answered
is a small.
questions.
You
Depression
see-
is a small thing. The essence was mental health.
okay,
Mental health crisis.
but like when your mental health is not good, you're depressed in a way, not
One of the reasons
Yeah,
you could
it's
have
one of
You
them.
could
anxiety
be
instead.
having anxiety.
But okay, let's,
okay, but you
let's
see
hear
now for me
yours.
my thing is like I've had reasons to be depressed in my life. You feel it? Like there are circumstances that come up, and if I was to say, man, I'm sad, leave me alone, I'm sick, I have things that are wrong with me right now, I'm sick. Like I don't see the benefit of me dwelling upon my bad, like the sadness in my life. You feel it? Because all these things, bad things are going to happen evidently. Because you can't tell me that you're going to work on your depression right now and something will not hit you later where you're going to end up in the what?
So
The
how do
same
you handle
state,
such
So
situations?
for me, the thing is to live, just live like you feel it. Like in a way, life can never be good and bad. You feel it? Like it can never be
Perfect.
can never be perfect. Like you're going to work on your mental health and you're going to be like this. I saw this guy on TikTok who said that like the guy was asking his doctor, why isn't my life always what? Always
Australia.
in Australia. So the chick was like, life is like what? That heartbeat. Like your heartbeat goes up, your heartbeat goes back. Like if you're at the same level, you're going to what?
Yeah.
You're going to flatline. So in a way, I know that things are going to go bad. You feel it?
But that
In
is
my
natural.
life,
That is the natural way of
exactly.
life.
I know that things are going to go bad, and I have hope that things are going to get better. So I think that's what does it. Let me stay
You
sad.
prepare yourself for the good moments, and you
Okay.
expect the
Yeah,
bad
like
moments
because
as well.
I know it's inevitable. Bad things are going to happen, but
Good
I
things
know
also happen.
good things are also going to happen. And if you're in a bad situation, think of like the good things
That are
have
yet
what?
to come.
That are yet to
That
come.
have
And
come.
good things that have happened because
Yeah.
people have good
Okay.
experiences in their
Okay,
life.
so this is it. From what I've acknowledged, I like
The
that
of
we all
giving is a good one.
we all acknowledge that mental health is a thing. On the issue of mental health, these are my opinions. One, it is a very real thing that does happen. Two, we need to not deny it and address it, tackle it. Three, dealing with mental health is not dwelling on it, but dealing with it. I'm sorry that certain spaces have made it seem like dealing with mental health. The examples you might be seeing are people who are suffering from mental health. That's not what we are campaigning for. Everyone being, oh yo, I'm in my feelings. Everyone, I'm in my. No, that's not what we are advocating for. Is dealing with that situation so
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. How we are gonna do that of that like this, but right now what all we can do is ask for help. The shortest thing we can tell the person is ask for help, eh? And then this, I like that you acknowledge that the life is like that, like the heartbeat, right? Now mental health is what equips you to be able to deal with that. That's why it's called your mental health. If your mental health is not good, it means that when life goes like this, and since it has ever been up, the day it will go down like this, because you have poor mental health, it's gonna hit you.
You won't be
You're
able
gonna
to
be in
come
a
back
bad
up.
place. You might not even be able to come back up.
Some
But
people.
have
But
been
it's
good.
not a
Let
choice. It's
me
not a
proceed.
choice.
You may
It's
have-
not a
Uninterrupted,
choice.
Paul.
You don't
Paul,
know.
come
This
on.
is not-
Like
this
it
is not
always
a
has to.
concluding
It
statement.
will
Paul,
never
uninterrupted,
be that
I
bad.
thought.
You feel,
Paul.
no,
For
no.
you,
Can I-
for you, but there are people who have been
You
that
guys,
bad.
I listen.
No, first of all,
Wow,
no,
it has to be my time.
No, do you
Yet
know
I'm
why?
trying
Do you know why I need him to understand this? He said he can
Okay, I'm
never be
gonna
that.
respond.
There
Can I
are people
respond to
who
him?
die
Can I
because
respond
of
to him
it
though?
being that bad.
Can I respond to you though? So Paul, this is it. Most of these truths are gonna be personal. Paul says, "How do you know? You can tell when you're unhappy." Now this is a second warning.
unhappy now.
Can I respond?
Oh, come on.
Here comes the warning, Paul. That you're going to think that your mental health is not important. Yet, if you're a logical man who went to school and you've had even within the words themselves, mental health being the well-being of something, and it is your mental, and you've learned it is your mental that you use to execute activities. We will not babysit you to know what's going on with you, but then you have to learn this. Your mental health is important. So how you choose to treat that comes down to you as a person. But you have to first acknowledge that it will affect how you execute. Now the reason why most people don't realize is they think that they're going to find themselves doing, for example, these things. Let's say you try to self-harm or do something for the community to see you. No, some men do something different. They do what you do. They carve it in and think they're going to squeeze it down. What it does instead, since it's your mental is how you function. So if the mental is not well, you're going to function at a lower capacity than you should be functioning at, and you might never even realize it. So many of us settle for our half performance. We settle for half glass. You might find that a happier Paul, a Paul with better mental health, or a Samuel, or a Manzi, or a Teresa of better mental health might do better things than the one who is not doing well. And evidence for this is this. We might have given whatever excuses we want in the past, but we'll find that less innovations will come from Uganda. Less talent will come from Uganda. Those are all things that can only happen when you have good mental health. There are parts of your brain you cannot even access if your mental health is not okay. So we'll continue to cry, but that's why our brains function at a certain percentage, not at full glass, and we settle for that. Yet the remaining part, which would be handled by fixing our mental health, because it is your mental. Your mental is what you use even in class. If your mental health was better, you'd be a better student. You'd solve problems better. Life generally would be better. That's why you're gonna find kids abroad that are you look at them and you nearly envy them. And actually, we've met kids who have good mental health in some of our schools. And usually we wonder, like, that kid is crazy. Because you'll find them, they're in their energy. They don't care why. Their mental health is good. You get it? And it is not a threatening place to be. It is the place we need to be. You don't want to turn out like them. You'll not also be glowing colors and whatnot. No. But you'll just have more. You'll just be a better man with hands-on things. Like you get. You will execute better. Now, yeah. Okay, and then summing it up maybe would be that if there's anyone out there struggling with mental health, ask for help, obviously. But the guaranteed means that I can give you as a person is the faith through Jesus Christ. And he said we cannot talk about other people's faith. So this is my last comment and my assignment to everyone here and everyone on TV. We should learn to know whether the truth is simply the truth or the truth is dependable. That's it.
Okay, so guys, thank you.
That's all, though.
Thank you for being on the podcast. Shaka, hold up. Thank you for being on the podcast. I also want to say something that no, not on that. Like, I see a lot of guys, someone posts something that they're going through something on their status, and then we make fun of them. Guys, let's be better as a generation.
Yeah,
So when you see someone with hope,
can do
when you see
better
someone who
than
needs
that.
help, when you see someone who needs help, don't make fun of them. Don't be the cause of someone's mental health crisis.
Sometimes
You
it's to
understand?
seek attention.
Okay,
from
thank you
people.
guys. Thank you guys. Thank you
Actually,
very much.
that hard guy floating probably feels it more.